You're listening to the Chords Chrome show on Lead Pedal Radio. Chords Chrome show on Lead Pedal Radio with DJ Bruce. You gotta listen to the Chords Chrome show on Lead Pedal Radio with DJ Bruce. You gotta listen because the Chords Chrome show on Lead Pedal Radio with DJ Bruce.
You never know what's gonna happen next.
They always are coming up with new stuff, new twists.
The craziest stuff happens on that show.
It keeps me laughing.
You're listening to Lead Pedal Radio, music for people behind the wheel.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Hey, welcome to another edition of Chords Chrome. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge. We are going to rock it out tonight. We've got some special guests with us. We've got Corinn Chrunik, and we've got GM Blacktop. As you know, he's a preferred artist. He's been here before. We are also going to showcase our preferred partner for tonight. That's Rockstalgia. We got some great stuff coming up with Rockstalgia. We've got our driver check rapid fire trivia happening. Let's see. We're going to share with you what's coming up for April. If you haven't been to any of the truck shows, if you were at Matt's this weekend, hope you had a great time. We're also going to be doing a retro minute tonight because we don't have a special truck, and we will be playing a song from our new preferred artist, the Roadhammers, later on. So lots to get on to, and we're going to play one by our friend Mr. GM Blacktop to bring us in, and when we come back, he's going to be with there. So we'll be running off of our Facebook, so get ready. Click the links below if you're listening to us on socials right now, and you can join us either on Lead Pedal Radio or on Lead Pedal Radio YouTube channel. You guys ready to get going? Let's go. Here we go. A little GM Blacktop with Together We Rock.
East Coast, West Coast, everything along the way. Northbound, southbound, hammer down night and day. There's a sing deep inside that we just can't seem to escape. Got a show in the morning, oh my knees is fate. Yeah, the DOT don't care if we're gonna be late. You gotta make sure you follow that crazy train. The motor spits out the beat, the guitars all scream. Like a band in a box with big wheels under our feet. Together we ride and roll down the interstate. And we ride and roll to it every day. Together we ride and roll, we ride and roll, we ride and roll down the big old rock and roll highway. A million miles and just as many one-horse towns. The twists and turns and bumps follow us around. Somehow we made it past by the seat of our pants. With a tear in our beer and a big red Together we rock and roll down the interstate. We rock and roll, do it every day. Together we rock and roll. We rock and roll. We rock and roll down the big old rock and roll. You got to get truck driving too. Live like a gypsy, pray to be cool. The blacktop turns your head all around. Rhythm of the road brings out the sound. My buddies and me try to do it right. The road meets the stage night after night. I guess we'll just call it the rock and roll blues. Another rough road, 'cause it's what we do. Together we rock and roll down the interstate. We rock and roll, do it night and day. Yeah, together we rock and roll. And we rock and roll. We rock and roll.
It's time for the Lead Pedal Radio Show with your host, Bruce Outrage. He's coming at you with 5K of high-definition, wall-to-wall internet streaming sound. Keep you on the white line, keep you rolling down the blacktop, flying down that big old road. He's got the hits, don't quit, the platters that matter, and the spins that win. So join us. We'll help you circumnavigate the concrete sea and actuate the asphalt alleyway. Now, here is your host, Bruce Outrage.
I can't even speak that fast. That's Mr. Mike Murchison for you right there. Hey, we've got Corinn and GM. How you guys doing, man? What's going on? What's going on?
We're good.
You guys had to
I'm
sit through
good
that
anyway. I
whole...
don't know how Corinn is. She's on the West Coast, so I guess she's good.
Smarter than we are. What's the weather out there? Corinn, you're where? Are you Vancouver? Where are you?
In Imo, Vancouver Island.
Oh, you're out on the island.
I'm on the island,
Oh,
yes.
nice. So do they have, have you got like the orcas going by you? Have you seen those? I haven't seen orcas, but have you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you go swimming every Sunday with them?
Whales.
Nice.
Actually, Bruce, she's actually hollowed out an orca and she lives inside one.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so for those of you, I'm going to start this gets me into trouble every time because I forget to actually interview the guests. So I'm going to start with the ladies first. We've got Corinn Chrunik. Did I say your name right, Corinn? I hope your last name.
Chrunik. Yeah, can you bring your name?
I could get better. I'm going to do a whole show on messing up names. Anyway, Corinn, you are a music promoter. You're representing GM. What else do you do? To fill us in on the rest of that. What'd you do?
Oh, I manage the Blacktop music and look after our podcast, do all the social media and promotions. Outside of the music, I have a gardening business.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a motorcyclist.
Wow.
And we're coming into motorcycle season, so that'll be fun.
Yes, I think I saw that you went out for a ride last year or something, or I saw you a picture with your bike, something like that. So very, very cool. You could follow GM around to his gigs.
Yeah, on my bike.
Mr. Blacktop, good to see you again. Sir. It's been I guess was it last year? No, it was probably the year before the last time I saw you. You came out to the truck show.
Yeah, we went over to, I think it was at Sparta. I ran into you, and I knew you. We sort of talked before I went there and had a nice chat and stuff. So I think it was Sparta last time we saw each other. I've heard you many times. Haven't seen you.
So you are back trucking now. Last time we spoke, I think you had like a dually or something. You were doing some kind of more regional stuff. But you're back in a big truck now. What's going on now?
I'm still in that recreational vehicle area, with the big truck. Little bit. I actually sold my 1 ton. I had 1 million kilometers on it, if you can believe it. And the transmission finally said goodnight, so I sold it. And now I'm doing a similar thing back and forth to Newfoundland and New Brunswick and now and then out west and Quebec and blah blah blah.
Oh, so you're back. You're back on the road. You're based out of where? You're Barrie area, right? Roughly. Yeah.
Technically, Ottawa area, but I'm also doing some teaching. So I teach out of the London area.
Oh, what are you teaching? Truck driving?
Trucking. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Teaching people to do it in a way that works for them and show them how to hold their mouth when they're gearing and stuff like that, so that they can do it right.
Please tell me you're doing it. You're teaching them properly. Please, we don't need any more crazies on the road. Please.
Well, I don't know. I've told several of them already that you really aren't cool enough to do this job, so you better get at it and work on your demeanor. So a couple of guys started, trying to be cooler when they come back. So we'll see what happens.
Are we in those days where you used to bring like a set of cowboy boots and a belt buckle? Here you go, boys.
Yeah.
Here's your uniform.
Yeah, and a ball cap. You got to have that ball cap. It's got something to do
Always.
with the farmers on it. Or Cummins.
Oh man.
So yeah, there's lots of that going on. Yeah, no, I teach guys both in classroom and on the road, and
Okay.
I'm kind of enjoying it because it's I'm old school, as you know, Bruce, and some of these new guys are, they're woke and everything else, and it's interesting to, see the difference in generations.
Oh, I know. We'll stay away from that because that's a whole other. Now, your name came up the other day. I don't know if you realize I was talking with Kevin Klein, Great Canadian Truck Show, and he used to be an organizer for Fergus, and we were talking about you. The first time I ever saw you, you had your big trailer. You were playing at Fergus. You were one of the headliners out there in the middle of the park. So you're still playing music. Latest song I got was "Together We Rock." Is that the one I just played? I think that's the latest one, or is there one out after that?
I'll let Corinn handle that.
let your promoter do some promotion. That's good, Corinn. Tell us about the song.
Most recent one is "Down on Me." Was released in February January, I think. And GM's working on another one, going in doing recording, and hopefully in the next month or so we'll have that one out as well.
Hey, is this how you control him? You go, don't let him answer anything. Just whenever you get a question, just go, Corinn, I'll let you answer. That's a good way to control this.
He's usually pretty good at answering his questions.
Well, I'd like to chirp in.
No, it's okay. We don't need you to. We're good.
So I need to chirp in on that one.
Chirp in.
So yeah, no, I that definitely, I just let her do the talking when it comes to that kind of stuff because, I'm a really shy guy, Bruce. I don't know if you know that about me.
Yeah, right.
So how did you two meet? And we should clarify for people, you were not together as a couple. You were together in business, right? Just in case anybody gets this wrong later on and goes, because when I say, how did you two meet? People are going to go, well, I guess they made over, didn't know. How did you guys connect? How did you connect?
Well, it all started with a podcast. We were on a podcast. I don't know, what was it, Corinn? A couple of years ago, and we were on the podcast, and one thing led to another, and we just started communicating a bit. And she took an interest in my music and in what I was kind of writing about and that kind of thing. So it just kind of fell together, and with her involved in the music side and my involvement in the music side, just kind of worked, and we, got along real well. Yep. So we started, she started doing some social media for me and that kind of thing. And that grew into, becoming more of the manager, publicist / person that sort of, watchdog, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then the podcast developed, and now we're there, and here we are tonight with you.
What are you, 10 episodes in? I think you're 9, 10, 11? 15. Oh, wow. I think I've missed the last couple. Then I'm going to have to go back and re-listen. I try to keep up. I thought the last one was 9 or 10. So, okay. So, Corinn, did you do this before? Were you in music before? Or because you said you had a gardening business. And I'm not sure. It's like my trucking and caricatures. Yeah, they go together.
I've always had an interest in music. I played guitar and organ when I was younger. Okay. And I've got a lot of computer technology, social media experience through motorcycling. So I have my own website and was promoting that. So I had the knowledge. It was just GM needed somebody to do that. Right. And it just kind of fell into place after we met on the other podcast. Okay. And he was needing the social media work done. And I was like, well, I know how to do that. And so it just kind of evolved out of that.
Okay.
And of course, I taught her how to be cool, which really helps a lot too, right?
Oh, I was already cool. What are you saying? I rode motorcycles before I met you.
You guys are sure you're not together? Just
100%. No.
Sound like a married couple. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
It's, Bruce, it's nice to meet somebody that's a friend that you can really connect with, especially when you're trying to, follow the same road on something like the music.
Yeah.
So, I've got my personal life, and Corinn has hers, of course, and I have a girlfriend. I'm not. Should I say that? I don't know.
I don't know, but
I have a girlfriend.
I'm just gonna do this for you guys. He's got a girlfriend. Just thought add that in. It seemed like a big announcement. I don't know why, but nobody asked if you had a girlfriend, but it seemed like a really big announcement. So I thought I should.
Well, I sort of felt that I should say something because you said, "Are you sure you're not together?" I was like, "No, we're not."
I'm just clarifying for the listeners. I actually don't care how many girlfriends you got. That's not my area of expertise.
You know what, Bruce? I've really settled down a lot. I've been in the olden days. It was just too crazy. So now I'm an older fella now and just working on my music and trucking and just trying to behave.
So let's give a shout out to you've got a guy, Indie Tunes.
Yes.
He does he actually produces the records. Or how old am I that I just said the word records?
No, Kenny is our label, but he doesn't produce the records. The production on my latest CD is by Daryl Gray. I don't know if you know Daryl or not. He's been the bassist for the rock band Helix for several decades. And he's my producer.
Okay. So you write the songs, you send them to Daryl, and then he sends them to Kenny, and then Kenny, because I see you, the last one I saw was you and Kenny doing an interview on Indie Tune, so I follow him, so I see that stuff. So, okay, so that's how, and then Corinn takes it over and says, okay, let's market it, right? You got the
Well, she works with Kenny quite a bit too, right?
Okay.
Corinn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I work with him on getting the final product together. I created all the artwork for all the singles and for our podcast.
Right.
And needs to be registered. There's all the background work that needs to be done. And then Kenny and I work together on that.
Okay. And he's a biker too. I'm seeing a theme here, Corinn. He's a biker too. I know he just did a road trip out west or something like that. I'm not sure where.
Yeah, actually, Kenny was out here last year with two of his buddies. They rode out, and I was their tour guide while they were on the island.
Oh, okay. So you like guys with wheels. I got it now. That just went wrong. That just went wrong.
Yeah, I could have taken that about 5 different directions, actually.
Well, I figured you'd come in with one, but I just thought, okay, so let's get back to this. So, Corinn, so nowadays, I think from what I'm hearing from artists is that nobody can make money. So what's the best way? How are we promoting this? Like, how do we make money for people like GM Blacktop?
I think the best way now is through shows, doing shows and merch sales, because there's not much coming from, with all the streaming, Spotify, all that. There's not much money coming in. It's literally like a fraction of a cent per song per play. Yeah. And Kenny has all his artists' songs available for sale on his website. Okay. But I don't know I've never asked him how many he actually does sell through the website. So from what I'm seeing, the best way to make the money is through shows and the merch sales at the shows.
So
I'm trying to convince Corinn to build an OnlyFans website.
And do what?
And what? Have two of us? Have two of us on money. There? What do we do? Have two of us on there, GM? Like I'm already there. Me and Corinn will be your 2 fans. Okay, you got your girlfriend. There's 3. And I'm sure we can get Kenny to come on board. That's 4. No. Yeah. It's funny, but it's actually, it's a good idea. It's just, how do you make all of that work? They just had it on mainstream news the other night, just because the Junos were in Hamilton last night. They were talking about this, how do artists make money? And, I don't see how anybody if you're not doing shows, and some of our artists are not really doing a lot of shows, they're kind of producing the music out of passion. What's the end game is what I want to know. I'm trying to figure out how to help everybody. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't know how to do that.
I think everyone is trying to figure all that out with it. The world has changed so much. Like people don't buy albums anymore, vinyl, although I have heard that's coming back.
Yep.
And then with AI, that's just a whole nother can of worms that we just don't want open, but they're opening it. So that's going to be scary.
It's already there. It's already there. I've been
Getting
getting AI music and stuff. Yeah, there's not much you can do. I think all you can really do is just be authentic and let people know that you're you and doing what you're doing. And so we've got the music. Now, how much are you touring, GM? I saw that you were doing a show. Are you doing a special show, or you're trying to get? You had like a highway show or something I saw not too long ago. I was talking about it.
We've got a tribute to the highway. See, my shtick, as you know, is I'm a lifestyle performer, so I've been writing songs about trucks and trucking life for a long time. And so the niche that I have is a tribute to the highway. So it's about 75% of my original stuff. And then I'll throw things like 6 Days on the Road, or maybe an Elvis song or two that's about trucking, and just some of that nostalgic kind of trucking in there. So when it comes to a show, there's a theme there that is a tribute to the highway, about the truck's lifestyle, all that neat stuff. And I think that it sort of separates me from a lot of artists, that gives me a niche that way that a lot of people don't have. So we're working on building that for this end of this year, and hopefully it'll,
So we have a number of shows and stuff, the truck shows that are out there. How does this work? You're on the road, and I mean, Corinn's across the country. So how do you get that show together? Is your band gonna go wherever you tell them to go, or how does it work? Do you have a band, or is it just you? Or
I've got access to lots of players and stuff. We used to have, when I was touring, a lot, we had a regular band that we'd use, but I have access to people that when the time comes, I can pull that together easily enough.
Okay.
But the big thing is, it's not easy to juggle, but it's one of those things that, because I'm a niche artist, you sort of see tribute acts like I don't know, Reba McEntire or Cher. Yep. I believe there's an area of that tribute act business, and usually tribute acts stay pretty busy. But I think there's an area of that tribute act business that can be, given to truckers. For example, certain shows, certain festivals, certain casinos, certain things do have truck related weekends or truck related weeks or whatever. And Corinn, is doing a lot of research to try to see if he can capitalize on getting this in there.
Yeah. It's getting paid is the big thing. There's lots of opportunity out there. It's trying to, how do you pay a band if no one's paying and all that kind of stuff, right? So, because selling tickets and all that. I know our friends at Thompson's just did a Willie Nelson when it was on the road again. It was all a Willie Nelson tribute. They did that. They were selling it out in theaters around. So they've been doing pretty good. But again, those themes things seem to work. Lots of truck shows here. Get them in the truck. You could bring the truck.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do a bunch more truck shows. I used to love doing the truck shows because everybody sort of understands my music and stuff. But there's a lot of different areas that we want to develop into, and it's just a rebuilding in a new market. It's not like it used to be, Bruce, as you know. Yeah. And it's kind of adapting to the new style of the new style of music, I guess you could say. And I don't mean the genre so much, but just the way music is handled these days. Yeah,
it's really changed. Tell us about the podcast. Tell us, how come you guys started that? Because you were bored, you had nothing else to do. So let's start a podcast.
We were sitting on board.
So
go ahead, Corinn. Tell us how the podcast.
Yeah, tell us about the podcast.
Well, it was actually GM had the idea that he wanted to start one with the two of us. And since we get along so well and banter, and he thought it'd be a good idea. And so, yeah, I did a bunch of research on how to do that and got everything set up, and we gave it a shot. And now we're going to do episode 16 next.
Good for you. Good for you. What do you guys talk about? I know I've listened to a few episodes. It goes from everything from what I heard, like hockey skates to trucking to smoking, whatever else he's doing that day.
Yeah.
So tell us is there a theme for each show?
I usually get myself in trouble every podcast. Corinn, we're not doing it live yet because Corinn doesn't trust me enough to do it live. But
I can see why. I could verify that with Corinn. I can see that that's probably going to be an issue.
I need to be able to edit.
we try to. I don't know. I just kind of look at every podcast as sort of an off the cuff situation where I try not to make it very scripted. I try to just, I've got a terrible sense of humor, and I sort of try to expand on it sometimes, and usually fall on my face with it. But
what I do is I just kind of see what's going on in the world in trucking music, anything else that might be interesting, and we have our topics, but there's no script. We just kind of see what's going on and go with it, and it's kind of our opinions or what our thoughts are on it.
You can see there's no
we try to keep Corinn's opinions to a minimum because she usually has, gets in trouble when she throws one of those out.
Yes.
There's no script on this show either, as you can see. Don't have any.
Yeah, but that's the best way, isn't it, Bruce?
I didn't even make up questions.
You don't want a script. Yeah, you don't want a script.
I had a guy the other day, he says, can I phone you to talk about the podcast? I said, we're either doing the interview. I don't do pre-interviews. We're either doing the interview or we're not. That's not how it works, right? Yeah. So it's...
I think that, what you're doing is awesome because you're really getting out there and you're going after that same niche market, that whole trucking world. And I'm sure you've noticed it already that the trucking world multiplies by 10 once people start listening to you, because now all of a sudden the truck driver's wife likes your podcast, and then there's sort of the aunt, and sort of the niece and nephew. So I'm sure you're experiencing that yourself, Bruce.
Have you ever thought of getting out of the trucking music genre? Because you're a good singer and musician already, so you could sing something else. It's got nothing to do with. Have you ever experimented with that, or is it just because of your passion for trucking that you've always stayed in that industry?
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny you say that because the last single that Corinn was talking about, it's called "Down on Me," and no, it's not about what you might think. But it's.
I wasn't thinking about it until you said that.
Anyway, that song was a sort of a song about this guy banging for this girl, and blah 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 blah. So it really wasn't a trucking song, but it was really really out of my comfort zone. So. Even vocally, it was kind of a weird song, which some people seem to like, and Corinn seemed to think it was a good idea, try it. And so I do like to sing songs sometimes that are not just about trucking. I do like to sing songs about good love and bad love, and maybe short shorts and on the highway, and just different things, right?
Yeah. Where you're writing now? Are you writing while you're on the road? Like, do you write
sometimes?
You're writing all the time as you go, or you kind of have to take time off and set that and write as you go at that time?
Well, I do both. If I've just got some time free or whatever, or in the truck or whatever, and I've already made a pact with myself that I refuse to use AI to help me with words, because that, to me, that's going to take away the creativity of.
Yep.
Sometimes the imperfection of a song is what makes it the coolest, right?
Yeah.
When you're using AI, it's designed to be all just exactly perfect, and I try to stay away from that. I thrive on imperfection.
Me too. I got a whole station about imperfection. That's what makes it fun, though. You've got to kind of keep it true to yourself. You really have to do that, or else you're. So Corinn, what is the hardest thing that you're struggling with? I mean, I know what you got to work with, so I apologize right there, but
Bruce, thanks a lot. Appreciate that, brother.
Hey, buddy, just helping out. You already knew that coming on. No, so
I know.
So what's the biggest struggle that you have as far as getting him promoted out? What do you? Because I guess I want to say this is your test case. I don't know if it is.
You've got so much going on at once, and it's just to keep all of it organized, and keeping track of what's happening where, and the research, and it's falling into place. But there's a lot on the go at once, which you just have to be organized, and I thrive on being organized, so it works for me.
You and I will get along very well. I may not look organized based on this show, but I'm behind the scenes. I am usually pretty organized.
Yeah.
The thing I can't figure out about what she does such a great job with all the social media and the technical things that I just can't figure out why she can't make me look 25 again, Bruce. That's the part that's bugging me.
They do have bags that go over your head for that, but I'm just going to leave that alone. Just, yeah. You're old enough, GM. You and I are probably like similar ages, so the unknown comic should come in.
Yeah, that's right.
Come into play.
That's right. I can put my glasses on the outside of the bag, and they'd know it was me, right?
Yeah. There's people who are going, "What's he talking about?" You had to be in the 70s to know that one for sure.
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
What do you mean it's okay to take a chalkboard off, a chalk brush off the head when you're in school? What do you mean that's okay?
It's funny. It's funny that the stuff I'm getting paid for today is stuff I used to get detentions for back at school. So.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
I'm just proving if you're a loudmouth in school, there is a job for you. Guess what? It's on the radio.
I spent from kindergarten to grade 6. I didn't actually get out of the dunce store, so I really didn't have a very great education.
No, I didn't either. That's why I left. That's why I left school at 17 and went trucking. How'd you get into
did you?
Yeah, how'd you get into trucking, GM? How'd you get started at the beginning?
At the time, I was in my ex-wife and I had a horse ranch, and we were doing a big show where we needed a flatbed truck, and we found out that this is in Port Colborne. Found out a friend of mine was a trucker, and we became better friends. And he brought his flatbed over to help us with the horse show and stuff, and one thing led to another, and I wasn't making much money training horses. I guess I was imperfect again. And I said, how do I get a license? He says, well, just come with me for the summer. Yeah. So at that time, we were using logbooks, and he didn't tell his boss that he had me with him. Yeah. So we were like picking up in Dallas, Texas, and delivering the next morning in Chicago and stuff. And his boss thought he was like Superman. He never did tell him I was in the truck. So it was so 3 months I went out with him, and then I got my license in 19-something. It was really long time ago.
Long time ago. Yeah, that's a good story. I remember that. I think I listened to that podcast episode where you're telling that. That is a funny story. And you probably didn't do well at that because I've never seen a horse on a flatbed. But we'll leave that alone just because I'm not sure if that's where they were going. But
gotta strap it down proper.
They have horse trailers for that now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't know that at the time. I thought straps, and you just hobble them on there and put straps over it. 2 straps over the back and you're good, but I didn't know.
Oh, jeez.
I know. You're like a friend. This guy I talked to at my friend over at Chrome Supply Warehouse, he said the guy had a flatbed, and I said, what do you normally haul? He says, I usually haul cattle. I'm looking at the trailer. I go, really? He goes, oh, that's my other one. I just brought this one for the show.
See, now the world is changing. Now pretty soon you're going to be able to buy your next girlfriend or your next wife in a Walmart. So my question to that is it possible, and then maybe you can dismantle her and bring her on a trip with you to pay one airline ticket. But the thing is I've often thought if you can dismantle her head in case she starts talking too much, is that possible?
It's good to have sound effects on this show once in a while. That seemed appropriate. I don't know why. I am not getting another wife. I've had 2, and I'm certainly not shopping for them at Walmart. So I'm not sure where you're going, but that's just. Oh, Corinn, get us that.
I'm going to keep looking for the rollback special at Walmart. Maybe I can get one cheap.
Corinn, where should we go to learn more about you guys and this music? Let's get out of here before we all get in trouble here.
I know.
Just going downhill directly.
He gets on these tangents sometimes.
I know. I should have known that. I've talked to him before. I kind of knew that was going to happen. Corinn, where should we go? So let's talk about his music first. Where do you want people to go and kind of find his music and all that kind of stuff?
We've got our website,
Okay.
www.gmblacktopmusic.com.
Okay.
On Spotify,
Yeah.
GM Blacktop, and you have to put a space in between GM and Blacktop. I don't know why when you do a search, it doesn't bring it up. I don't understand Spotify search. It's kind of weird. And Indie Tunes Records as well.
All right.
Kenny's got the songs all on there as well.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And the podcast. GM, can you do the podcast, or would you like her to continue? Because I'm afraid to ask you.
What's that?
Let Corinn just do the podcast. Just don't.
No, can I do the podcast?
Oh, geez, if you must.
The podcast.
Let's see.
Hmm?
We'll see if you get it right.
Okay.
Okay, the
test.
podcast is Blacktop Rocks, the podcast. And you have to say it just like that. Blacktop Rocks, the podcast.
What about Corinn, though? How come she's not part of the name? Is it your podcast? Corinn's doing all the work.
Damn songs.
Corinn's doing all the work.
Well, I write the damn songs.
Yeah, I mean, do you play songs on your podcast?
What's that? Sorry?
Do you play songs on your podcast?
Yeah. Well, we've got Blacktop Made Me This Way as the theme song at the beginning and end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't
He
that
sometimes
true, right?
sings during it.
Blacktop made me this way. That's
That
pretty
is
real to truckers, isn't it?
That's actually one of my favorite songs. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, I like that one too. But we're gonna play Rocket as we go, folks. I just want to say thank you. I got more stuff to bring on the show, but thank you for being on tonight. You guys were awesome as always, and I
You're
encourage
awesome,
everybody to
man.
listen to your podcast because I've listened to your podcast. So go there.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Bruce.
for having us.
Thanks for being one of our preferred artists, GM. We play your music all the time. It fits perfectly.
Thanks,
so
man.
thank you, and thanks for all you do. And Corinn, I hope we meet in person one time. There's
Oh,
there's way more alcohol and stories to go on, especially about him. But
There's plans. I'll be out in Ontario, so
are you coming this way? I'm in Burlington. Are you coming this way?
I will have to at some point. Yeah.
You're trying to avoid it. I understand. We're trying to avoid it too.
But I'll be there.
All right. Well, come out for a truck show. There's lots of truck shows going on this summer, so come on out
I'd
for a
love
truck
to.
show.
Definitely.
Yeah, GM, you're not going to be down at Blacktop at Truck World, are you? Couple weeks.
No plans. I think part of the problem there was it was scheduling. We just didn't get at what we were trying to do quick enough. Not that we did it wrong. It's just that we didn't have our thoughts in place before they started booking shows. So we're hoping to.
Well, if you happen to come in and walk around, we're going to be there, so you can get free tickets.
Okay,
so get free tickets. Let me know if you need tickets, and you get your free tickets. And
Yeah.
come in.
Okay, that'd be great.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce. You're
Appreciate
awesome.
you. Appreciate you being on. We're going to go out with a little Rocket by GM Blacktop. I think I know a guy. See you guys later. Thanks.
what's going to happen next.
They always are coming up with new stuff, new twists.
The craziest stuff happens on that show.
It keeps me laughing.
You're listening to Lead Pedal Radio, music for people behind the wheel.
Oh, there we go. Hey, big thank you to Corinn and GM Blacktop for being on the show today. Hope you had some fun there. Lots of laughs for sure. Go check out GM's music. We play it here all the time. That was his song Rocket for sure. Big thank you to our friends over at Bison Transport. They are our sponsor for all of our interviews, backstage interviews. So great to have them on there as well. And of course, our artists are by Ontario Truck Driving School, so OTDS.com to learn all about them. All right, we're going to do some rapid fire trivia, and we're going to have to do it really rapid fire because we're almost running out of time here for sure. But we're going to do some Family Feud style trivia for today. So here we go. You ready? Let's go. In the U.S., they call it an interstate. What other words would you describe a major road like an interstate? I didn't want to give you. So I got 6 possible answers there. So give me 6 words for the word interstate. These are mostly trucking questions, so I don't know if people are going to have them or not. Name 4 truck manufacturers for semi-trucks that you would see at a truck show. What are 4 manufacturers for semi-trucks that you would see at a truck show? Let's see. Oh, well, I was almost going to give you the answers. I won't do that. No way. No way. So, okay, so we're looking at... I see French Bread's answering very good. Thank you very much. Without using the word classic, how would you describe a classic car? Without using the word classic, how would you describe a classic car? I've got 4 possible answers there. And I've got, let's see, the next one. While holding on to the steering wheel in your car with both hands, what functions can you do? Other than driving, what functions can you do if you're holding on to the steering wheel with both hands in the car? I've got 5 possible answers for you there. And our last one's to do with trucking as well. If a truck driver sleeps in the truck, how would you describe the area where they sleep? If a truck driver sleeps in the truck, how would you describe the area where they sleep? And we will get that going for you right now. Let's get back into our answers, shall we? All right, here we go. I'm going to do our answers. French Bread's been answering on our lead pedal side. Thank you very much. All right, so let's see. I got to get back to where we were. All right, so here we're going. In the U.S., they call it an interstate. What other words would you use to describe a major interstate? 6 possible answers. French Bread had them here with highway. I'm looking for highway, freeway, expressway, motorway, turnpike, or throughway. Those are some of the possible answers you can have. Those are the 6 that I had. Next question. Name 4 truck manufacturers for semi-trucks that you would see at a truck show. What are 4 types of trucks you'd see at a truck show? I've got 5 possible answers there. There are more, but I've got 5 here. I was looking for, let's see, did anybody answer that? No. Okay, so French Bread had Bison. That's not it. But I was looking for Peterbilt, Kenworth, Freightliner, Volvo, or International. Those are 5 I had. There are others. So good there. Next question. Without using the word classic, how would you describe a classic car? Without using the word classic, how would you describe a classic car? 4 possible answers that I had: vintage, collector, antique, or retro. Kind of all like me. That's how it works. And let's see, the 4th question here. While holding on to the steering wheel in your car, actually, I was supposed to ask. Yeah, okay, so French Bread had all there. Good. So while holding on to the steering wheel in your car with both hands, what functions can you do? So French Bread said you can change the radio. Totally right on. And I was looking for either change radio, set cruise control, adjust the radio volume. If you have vehicle lane assist, you can do that from there as well. And you can answer the phone. I don't suggest you do that while you're driving, but you can do that. And our last question here, and French Bread had it here: if a truck driver sleeps in the truck, how would you describe the area where they sleep? And French Bread had bunk, which she has heard many times. And the actual ones that I had 3 possible answers: sleeper berth, sleeper cab, or bunk. And French Bread Got Bunk. Thank you for playing French Bread. Appreciate that. Thanks everybody for joining us there. We're gonna come back with a retro we're gonna come back with some events and then our retro minute. I think we are gonna get it all stuck in there before we go. Here's one by our recent addition to the preferred artist, Marie Norris.
My favorite station. I love you guys.
Turn your radios up.
All right, before we get too far here, I'm going to share with you our preferred partners for this week is Rockstalgia. Now, if you've not heard of Rockstalgia, they are you probably heard of them because we talk about them all the time here. They're supporting our concert and cruise calendar, but they have a lot of stuff going on here. And I just got their newsletter today, which I thought was great. We're trying to get them on this on the stage. You know that they've got their rock festival July 11th, 2026. It's going to be in Orono, Ontario, which is out the east side of Toronto. Just some of the announcements. They're growing their lineup for the bands up to 24 bands. So they've got it going really well. They've been partnering with organizations, Bowmanville Hospital Foundation, Bethesda House, and Wounded Warriors Carrier. I cannot say that word for sure. They were recently at the Toronto Spring Camping and RV Show. They've been at the Quinty Sportsman Show in Belleville. And they are doing an unforgettable trip down memory lane. 1970s and 80s classic rock is the focus of this festival. And man, it's going to be great. On March 10th, they were held their first She Rocks, a celebration of women in music event. Over 100 attendees and $700 raised for Bethesda House. I can still not say that. I'm going to have to work on that. Anyway, just wanted to give you a bit of the lineup that are going on. They've got a lot of stuff going on. They've got Gatto. Remember Gatto? They're going to be July 12th. They're going to be the headliners there at Rockstalgia. I haven't heard the name Gatto for a long time. But let's see. They've got the Destroyer, which is a Kiss tribute band. I think that's going to be cool. Practical Petty, which is a Tom Petty tribute band. Fleetwood Nicks, which is a Fleetwood Mac one. They've got Pearl Jamming. Two for the Show, a Trooper. So they've got some great bands here. These are not go to rockstalgia.com to see their whole lineup. This is going to be very, very cool, this festival here. 102 days, they say. They've got 21 hours, 56 minutes, and 15 seconds. So check them out. Rockstalgia.com is where you can learn all about them. And they bring the events to you right now. And I'm going to bring some events to you right now as well. This is what we've got happening April 2026 in the trucking industry. Here we All right, so let's get into the events. I'm going to share what's coming up in April and May. If you'd like to know further than that, then the best way to do that is to go to our events calendar on the Lead Pedal podcast. Click on the events calendar. We update every month. You can see all of the ones all the way to the end of the year that we have listed. For this, though, I'm just going to go through the ones in April and May for you so you can kind of get a heads up on what's coming up. We're supposed to be at TTSAO. They're supposed to have their annual conference. They've rescheduled that. So that was supposed to be happening April 1st and 2nd. It's not happening. So check that out. So the next event on the docket for us is Truck World. Truck World's April 16th to 18th. 2026 in Toronto, Ontario, put on by Newcom. So check out trucknews.com for the details there. We're going to be holding we're going to be hosting a program called The Garage, which I'm interested to be part of. You can have different mechanics, different parts people talking about trucks and doing inspections. We're going to be hosting that for you. So make sure you check that out. It's going to be in Hall 3. We're also going to have a booth in Hall 3 at booth 3113. So come by and say hello to us. We're looking forward to being part of that as well. We'll be doing interviews at the booth. We'll be roaming. We're going to have some people there helping us out. So check us out in Hall 3, booth 3113 for the Lead Pedal Media, Lead Pedal Podcast. Also, if you're going to be at National Recruiting and Retention Symposium, April 28th, 29th in Burlington, Ontario. That's put on by Transrep. That's the National Recruiting and Retention Symposium. Always a great event. We're going to be at that one as well. We'll be a media sponsor for them. That is, you can go to transrep.ca to learn all about that and register. It sells out every year, my friends. It is focused on recruiting and retention. So a lot of recruiters in the room, a lot of human resources, a lot of insurance people. Make sure you check that out. It's one of the best conferences going on in our area. Then we get in. All right, there you go. That's what's happening there. So check them out for sure. Again, we talked about the Truck World. That's the Garage. We'll be doing that April 16th to 18th. If you need tickets to that, you can scan this code right here and get complimentary tickets with Lead Pedal Media. So we hope to see you there. We will be in Hall 3, booth 3113, and I will be hosting the Garage segment for you. So that's what we're going to be doing over there at Truck World. So make sure you come by and say hello for sure. All right. Hey, let's get into I can do a quick retro minute for you right here. This is brought to you by RS2000 Tax Services and our friends over at Chrome Supply Warehouse. Where did the cab overs come from? That is what people want to know. Where did the cab overs come from? Well, they started in the 30s, right? They started in the 30s. Cab overs and went until the 70s. A lot of times they could, in the 30s, it was back because they didn't have as long length laws for trucks and trailers. You were limited to a certain amount of, a certain trailer configuration, certain trailer length. In the 70s, 80s, that kind of changed, and they allowed for people to have conventional longer units, conventional trucks, and then by having those conventional trucks, it allowed people to have even longer units. And of course, if you've ever been stuck at the side of the road at cab over, you know the pleasure of having a conventional where you can at least have something to, have something to sleep and not have to be tilted towards the roadway waiting for help to come along. So that's kind of where the cab overs went. They went away for a long time, but we still see them at the shows. As you know, that's one of the coolest places to see them, and they are lovely to drive. I learned to drive in a cab over, and I can tell you it was one of the best. It's a totally different feeling to driving in a conventional truck. You're sitting a lot higher. People think that because it's a cab over, you can actually turn shorter. That is wrong. Depending on the wheelbase of the truck, it may take just as long to turn. So the people who are using cab overs now, well, in Europe they use them a lot. In Australia they still use them a lot. They do use them a lot here, more so on the furniture side because they put drone boxes on so they can get a little more freight in there. And of course you've got some just cool old school guys who love cab overs. So that's where the cab over is gone, and we are sorry to see them go, but at the price of fuel today, you're probably happy you don't have one because fuel economy was not their strong point. But they were a lot of fun to drive for sure. So big thank you to RS2000 and Chrome Supply Warehouse for sponsoring that Retro Minute for us for sure. We don't have a truck this week. That's why we're doing the Retro Minute for sure. All right, so we are going to end our show. We're going to take this off with our friends, the Roadhammers. They're our new preferred artists for the months of March. There will be no show next Monday because of Easter. So if you're listening to this live, there's no show next Monday. We'll be returning back after that with some new guests and new stuff. All right, my friends, be good out there. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and we will catch you next time.
You're listening to the Chords Chrome show on Lead Pedal Radio.
They always are coming up with new stuff, new twists.
The craziest stuff happens on that show.
It keeps me laughing.
You're listening to Lead Pedal Radio, music for people behind the wheel.